All right, we back. Mercy Sports Talk. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Back talking some more Detroit Lions. I'm watching NFL Live today on ESPN, and Tim Hasselbeck, the other Hasselbeck, not Matt, Tim, the sorry one. He was on there predicting the Lions. I think Mike Tannenbaum, he did a team, and there was another guy on there. He did the Bears and said the Bears wouldn't make it. I can't remember who he was. And then they got up to Tim Hasselbeck, and he said the Lions did a good, solid job in the draft. Then he goes on to say the Lions did a really good job in free agency and upgraded. But then his bold prediction was the Lions wasn't going to win more than 4 games. I'm like, man, they stay honing the Lions on national TV, and probably rightfully so. I hear a lot of insiders on CRM XM satellite radio is saying they like what Bob Quinn is doing, and Bob Quinn is a really good GM. Just trust the process and let him pretty much build the team how you want to build. And I'm willing to give Bob Quinn a proper time. I sat here 30 years waiting on the Lions to win a championship. You know, I ain't got nothing but time, God willing, and sitting here and wait for them to get it right. But for him to say we only going to win 4 games, I think that's disrespectful, because we beat Green Bay. We swept them the last 2 years, and before this past season, I think we beat like Chicago 4 straight years. I think they beat us one time in between. We beat them 3 or 4 straight years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And Minnesota got us twice last year, but nobody's scared of Minnesota. But we going back and forth with them. So basically, you know, and I told y'all they had the Arizona Cardinal game to kick off the season as a pick'em. And like I said, it's the ultimate disrespect, right? But you know what? This organization brought it upon itself. You know, a lot of people giving us approval ratings what we did in the draft. We did in free agency big time. And it's a waiting pro to see. You know what I'm saying? But to go out there and justify like we only gonna win 4 games this year, like I think that's a stretch. I think that's some hating ass shit right there. But like I said before, you know, how you gonna say, oh, you did good things? They did the same thing. Oh boy, did the same thing for Chicago. Well, I like Chicago team. They really don't need much help, but they're gonna miss the playoffs. I'm like, okay, you know, it's Aaron Rodgers jockstrap riding season. But what has he done in the last couple of years? Real talk. What has Aaron Rodgers done? Who's scared of Aaron Rodgers? If he tripped the wrong way, he gonna break his collarbone again. They changed the rules for him. Everything. A lot of these rules changes is for Aaron Rodgers because he was getting knocked out the game so many times. But like I said, we can't even get mad at the public perception because we ain't did nothing. And he says that the reason that, you know, he said I like him, but it just shows you how far away the Detroit Lions team is from competing. And I don't think we that far away. I don't think the talent level in the NFL was so great last year, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, maybe it's an indictment on Matthew Stafford. Maybe it's an indictment on his knowledge about the team. But, you know, it's crazy, man. But at some point, enough is enough. I remember I was listening to Warren Sapp, and they was talking about the rise from the ashes of the Tampa Bay Bucks. And at the point that he remembered it was a pivotal in their turnaround, it's when I think they hadn't won in San Diego, or they were playing somewhere. They hadn't won there in ever or in a very long time. And he said he turns to Derek Brooks and say, this shit in the day. Warren Sapp say, this shit in the day. This ain't going down no more. And they went out there and they beat somebody that hadn't beaten in a long time. And that's the point that he pointed out. That the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went from sorry to, okay, I know we're going to be pretty good. And the Lions need that type of point where at some point where, you know, you thought it would have been Green Bay a couple years ago. We hadn't won in Lambeau this time, and now they turn the corner. They need a pivotal point where they say, you know what? I'm tired of disappointing the city. I'm tired of being the stepchild, the sorry sports team of Detroit. We tired of the national, you know, media disrespecting us. They need a sense of pride. They need an edge. They need a chip. It just never seemed like the Lions have played with a chip on their shoulder. They need a chip. They need some type of motivation. Ain't it enough motivation that they saying we're going to win 4 games, that we sorry, SOL, not giving us the call that they would have gave other people on Golden Tate versus Atlanta for the touchdown, getting slighted versus Dallas Cowboys. I can just see the NFL, you know, Super Bowl recap going back. The Lions were sorry for this long, and they finally turned the corner, and a franchise need to be turned around. I can see it vividly in my mind where they can do a Super Bowl a recap on us about how sorry he is and how we finally rose up and won the Super Bowl. I can envision it. The Lions need to be starving. Like, really talk. They need to be starving. They need to be desperate. And shit like this should be bulletin board material. And it just don't seem they play with their heart or that passion that they need to have that Warren Sapp type of moment, or Tampa Bay Derrick Brooks type of moment. Say enough is enough. We tired of this shit. Let's go prove it, man. They need that type of that motivation, man. But hopefully they use it as bulletin board material and they do much more. But we hungry for the Lions to win a Super Bowl, man. The city deserve it, man. The Wings deserve it. The Tigers deserve it. The Pistons deserve it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure being on them. They carried the city for so long. Now it's time for the Lions to rise up and do their part. But hey, Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. One time for the